The Forgotten Elf. Deep in the heart of the North Pole, nestled behind shimmering ice cliffs and beyond the bustling toy workshop, stood the cosy village of Santa's elves. Among them lived Twinkle, a small elf with bright green eyes and a hat that always seemed a little too big for him. He wasn't the fastest toy maker or the strongest reindeer handler, but he had a heart full of dreams and a spirit as warm as cocoa by the fire. This year, though, Twinkle felt different. It was only 3 days before Christmas, and everyone seemed too busy to notice him. No one asked for his help wrapping presents or loading the sleigh. Even the other elves seemed to forget he existed. Maybe I'm just not important, Twinkle sighed, watching the twinkling lights on the village tree from a bench. As he sat there, a snowflake landed on his nose, sparkling unusually bright. Suddenly, a soft voice whispered in the wind, "Don't give up, Twinkle. Sometimes the smallest light shines brightest in the darkest moment." Twinkle jumped up. "Who's there?" he called. But there was no answer. Determined, he decided to prove his worth. He would find something important to do and show everyone he mattered. That night, Twinkle decided to check the reindeer stables. Maybe there was work to be done. As he approached, he noticed the stables were unusually quiet. Dasher and Dancer were asleep, but where was Comet? Twinkle's heart raced. He knew Comet had been restless lately, eager for his pre-Christmas flight. Running outside, he spotted hoofprints leading into the dark forest beyond the North Pole's safe zone. Without thinking twice, Twinkle grabbed a lantern and followed the trail. The forest was dense, the trees casting long, shadowy fingers in the moonlight. Twinkle's breath formed tiny clouds in the icy air. "Comet! Comet! Where are you?" he called. A soft whimper answered from deep within the forest. Twinkle hurried toward the sound and found Comet tangled in a thicket of thorny vines, his legs scratched and wings drooping. "Oh no, Comet! How did this happen?" Twinkle whispered, carefully working to untangle the reindeer. Comet nudged Twinkle gently, as if to say, "Thank you." Once free, Comet tried to stand but stumbled. Twinkle realized Comet couldn't walk back alone. So he did the only thing he could think of. He sang. It was a song his grandmother had taught him, one about courage and hope. As his voice echoed through the forest, a soft glow surrounded them. The vines parted, and the path back home illuminated with shimmering light. "The magic of Christmas," Twinkle whispered in awe. By the time they returned to the village, dawn was breaking. Elves rushed over, concerned. "Where have you been?" shouted Pip, Santa's head elf. "Saving Comet," Twinkle said, out of breath. Santa himself arrived, his eyes twinkling with pride. "Twinkle, you saved one of my most important reindeer. Without Comet, the sleigh wouldn't have flown properly on Christmas Eve. You've done something truly extraordinary." Twinkle blushed. "I just wanted to help." Santa smiled. "And you did." Sometimes the ones who feel forgotten carry the greatest strength. You've reminded us all that no one is too small to make a difference. That night, as Santa's sleigh soared into the sky, Twinkle watched from the hilltop, his heart full. He had found his place not by being the fastest or strongest, but by being true to himself. From that Christmas on, Twinkle was never forgotten again. His story became a legend, told every year as a reminder that even the smallest light can guide the way through the darkest of times. The end.